Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
You contacted her and you didn't, and your wife didn't know?
No.
Did you know that he contacted her first?
No.
I
had no
contacted
idea.
her about her nephew, who's in Little League.
Yeah, right. In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. You want him to pay $628.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, knock my socks off. Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something. The law talks about something may in fact be true, but can they prove it? And that's what's tough.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Angela Holland claims her marriage failed and it's the defendant's fault. She's suing Behati Giles in the amount of $9,750. Ms. Giles claims it's not her fault and she feels the plaintiff's husband should be blamed.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Thomas. You know, they say be careful what you wish for. You've heard that. You want to spice it up a little bit.
Yep.
And out of all the ways you could have spiced it up, you decided to do what?
Decided to bring in another party for a threesome.
Miss Giles was the third party.
Yes.
Is this Mr. Holland here?
Yes, that is.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, stand up. Oh, he's ready. He's ready to go. Okay, Johnny on the spot. Let's talk about that. Now, are the two of you currently married, separated,
No, Your Honor.
divorced?
Divorced. We've been
You
divorced.
actually have
Yes.
been divorced.
We're
Yes, sir.
divorced.
What made you decide to bring Miss Giles into the equation?
We were high school sweethearts, best of friends, and we got married very shortly after high school, and we had an amazing, amazing relationship.
Any children?
No children.
No, sir.
Okay.
It wasn't until about 3 years ago that
Yes.
Kiefer and I started to drift apart.
Because?
My father
Hey.
passed away, sir.
Yes, his father passed away.
How did that affect your relationship with your wife?
I grew up as an only child, and my dad was everything to me. Taught me, about sports, how to be a man. And when he passed away, I was adrift, and I felt alone. And I did a lot of self-reflection and thought about what I wanted most in the world, and that is to be a father myself.
Was that a decision that the two of you made not to have children?
Yes, Your Honor.
No.
Yes,
no,
it
sir.
was.
No, it had always been someday.
It was
we may
always
have
clear
kids.
from the beginning
Someday, and we
that I
continuously
did
put it
not want
off.
children, and he knew
No,
that from the beginning
absolutely
of
not,
our
sir.
relationship.
Here's what I found in situations like this. We as men, you're not as strong in our communication. Because if a woman says, I'm not having kids, you're like, oh, I'll change your mind.
So fair enough, that communication became
And that
absolutely
became
stone
an
cold.
issue for the two of you.
Yes, after
It
my father
strained the
passed away.
relationship.
Yes, Your
Yes,
Honor.
sir.
That makes sense to me. How were the two of you getting along?
To be honest, I built up resentment, and it plateaued on the fact that I arrogantly thought maybe one day I could change her mind. And as time passed, that became crystal
And
clear.
you became more and more resentful of the fact that she was adamant, I'm not having kids.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
I
and
got
that
it.
showed. It showed.
How did it show?
He started dropping little things about how I looked.
What did he say?
Comments about how I didn't look the way I used to in high school. He would point out old
I would say
pictures in
that-
the
that we were getting older.
yearbook. It wasn't the
A woman
way,
doesn't want to hear that.
And it wasn't even just the things he
Hey,
said.
by the way, you look older.
It wasn't even just things he said, it was how often he said them. It became almost a daily reminder of everything I wasn't giving him. And so therefore, I felt like I needed to do something different to spice back up our relationship, to get back into that fun we had when we were younger, before
Now, were
all
the
of this
two of
happened.
you, during this period, were you intimate with each other?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. And so there was no problem in terms of connecting physically.
No.
Then why bring Miss Giles into the picture?
I thought it would be something that he wanted. It seemed like something he always dropped hints at, like
Your
I
He's
was.
really good at dropping those hints.
He
huh?
Your
loves
Honor.
dropping. He's so manipulative, Your Honor. Like you don't even. You can hear how he's speaking, how he always has to
I was
butt
trying
in.
to keep my head
That's
above
what
water
he
in
does
terms of some of her
all
suggestions,
the
sir.
time. All the time.
And yet, he was doing that, but because you had known him since high school, there was another part of his personality that actually was endearing to you.
Yes, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And I want to bring in Ms. Giles, because you're just kind of standing here, and
Well,
yet you're the
there's
one
a-
being sued.
I
How do
know,
you
which
fit
is
into
ridiculous.
this? Explain for me.
Okay, they were having a party at their house, big house, and they ordered beautiful women for that party, for mingling.
You were an professional escort.
I used to be, yes,
How long were you an escort for?
about 5 years.
5 years. And the extent of your business, did it involve things beyond just accompanying people to events?
No. It was only showing up, being beautiful, know how to support a conversation. If something happens, it's for me
Your
to.
choice.
Yeah, it's
All right.
it's my choice,
And
and
was
the
that
money's not
something,
involved.
did that
in
happen from time to time, that where you were intimate with the individuals?
Not really often.
Okay. You contacted her for the specific reason of the three of you engaging in intimacy.
We
Not-
met at a party. We met at this
This
party.
is a different party.
No,
No,
this
no,
was
no,
our
no.
anniversary party. Kiefer and I decided to hire
We
an
always do these
escort
big
service.
blowouts.
Yeah,
Okay.
we wanted to, he has some friends who aren't really great with the ladies, so I kind of
That's
thought
nice.
maybe we could,
You took the initiative to invite some ladies to accompany the men that would be there in terms of just
yes,
exchanging.
and it was never about hiring somebody or bringing somebody in that Kiefer and I would decide to have a
All right.
threesome
Never
with.
once.
Well, then how did Miss Giles come into the play here?
We met her at the party, and
Yes.
she was a very nice lady. She was like one of those people when you first meet, you want to be like their best friend.
You liked her.
I liked her. I thought she was a great woman. We hit it off immediately, and then Kiefer and I have decided after the party, we discussed it, and we decided that she might be the person that we would like to, bring into the bedroom. So we set up for her to come over another night and discuss that with her,
All
of her
right.
own, like not
you
being
came
paid.
back over and discussed it with them.
Coming up on America's Court.
You contacted her, and and your wife didn't know.
No.
Did you know that he contacted her first?
No.
I
had no
contacted
idea.
her about her nephew, who's in Little League.
Yeah, right.
And later,
Were you
Two.
ignoring her, Mr. Joyner?
I don't know if I was necessarily ignoring
That's
her.
a yes. All right, so why were you ignoring her?
closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Angela Holland, who is suing Behati Giles for breaking up her marriage.
I have slightly different version of the story.
Okay.
I met them at this party, and the only reason I came up to them because they were having a huge fight
At
in the
the
middle
party?
of the party. Yes, and our job is like
Keep
to
it
make
light,
it fun
keep
and
it-
keep it light, and et cetera, et cetera. So I approached them and was trying to smooth it out,
Smooth things out and be
yeah,
beautiful and be intelligent. I don't know.
dance.
Okay. Yes.
cool down.
Okay.
So that was.
And
the
did you
thing.
mission accomplished?
Yes,
Okay.
mission
And
accomplished.
so when then
and
afterwards
we
you all thought
started
you
to
kinda
talk.
like her. Is that what happens?
I would say that was the vibe, yeah.
Mr. Howard, you had a conversation with your wife at the time saying, okay, if you're interested, I'm interested, let's get a hold of her.
Yes.
You contact Ms. Giles. Ms. Giles, you say you don't do this often, but you made the exception for these two. You all have this ménage à trois, right?
Yeah.
After it's over, she goes on about her way. The two of you are thinking, what? This was a one-shot deal. We're going to call her back. What was the conversation?
It was a one-shot deal.
I always saw it as a one-shot deal.
And you knew they were married. Who contacted who?
I
He
did.
contacted me.
You contacted her, and and your wife didn't know.
No.
Did you know that he contacted her first?
No.
I
had no
contacted
idea.
her about her nephew, who's in Little League.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's why the text messages I have are very much about Little League.
Let me see the text message.
You just dismissed that right away. I like that. That was good. One for the judge.
What is this? The Law Center.
That's the bill from the lawyer?
$9,750. This is for the divorce.
Yes.
Your husband contacted her first. Why are you suing her?
Because she was the one who pursued it.
Not
He
at
just
all.
She
said,
could have
I contacted
Yes,
her.
but she could have ignored it. She was the one I saw who had first sent the sexual messages.
Who's in dark blue? Who's in light blue?
The dark blue is Kiefer, and the light blue is Miss Giles.
He
There
starts
is-
off, hey, babe, I've been thinking about you all day. Hi, my love. I've been thinking about you, too. Can't wait to see and caress your hair. I can't wait to look into your big, brown, beautiful eyes. And why am I looking at this picture?
That is a picture she sent him before those text messages were even sent.
He called her to ask about the 14-year-old.
He called multiple times, she called multiple times, some of the times when I wasn't even home, so there was no way she was trying to contact me, as he has said.
You are from North Carolina. North
Yes.
Carolina has alienation of affection laws. The whole purpose is the person saw that there was love, the love was alienated, there's no more affection, the person intentionally goes in and through malicious means causes there to be a split in the marriage. We have a situation here where your husband initiated the conversation with someone that you brought into your marriage to have sex with your husband and you.
Yes.
It wasn't a situation where he said, hey honey, let's bring another woman in. You brought this woman in, and then he followed up with her. You knew he was vulnerable about having kids. You knew he was saying these things about you don't look the same. He's telling you all these signs through his actions and his words. And out of the persons of the two of them that are being pursued for causing damage, you're going after her.
Yes.
Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel comes down in favor of the defendant. You're going after the wrong person. That is the order. Case closed.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is dismissed.
Guys, heads up. When your wife says something that sounds too good to be true, you're going to end up in court.
Sorry, beauty cost.
The fact that I lost my husband and she didn't have to pay, we'll see how long that relationship lasts.
And coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
Were you ignoring her, Mr. Joyner?
I don't know if I was necessarily ignoring
That's
her.
a yes. All right, so why were you ignoring her?
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Event planner Amber Nunn says she regrets hiring her ex-boyfriend for a photography job. She's suing for $450. The plaintiff's ex-boyfriend, Ryan Joyner, says he did a good job and his ex is just angry because they broke up.
So we had a relationship. You tried to mix business with pleasure. Never works. Now you want this gentleman to pay you $450.
That's correct.
Prove your case, Ms. Nunn.
I met Mr. Ryan about 6 months ago. I had just started my business. I'm an event planner.
Yes.
And I had one of my first clients, and she was having a book release party.
All right.
So she has her own photographer, but I needed some pictures for my portfolio. So
For your website and sending out information and so forth.
Exactly.
And so you decided to hire Mr. Joyner.
yes, my aunt referred
Because?
him. Well, his work, it was very well done. I checked out his website.
Very well done, his work.
Yes.
You are pleased with his work.
Loved it.
And
It was a little overpriced, but
a little overpriced.
since my aunt had recommended him, I figured give him a try anyway.
All right.
So I give him a call, and we wound up talking for hours.
So you hadn't even met him in person.
No, not at all.
But there was something about that voice.
Yeah, exactly. Really. It
And
was
Mr.
like
Joyner,
that.
was the feeling mutual with you?
It started off that way. Yes, definitely.
Okay. You have a nice voice, so I can see
thank
that. So after the phone conversation, then what happened, sir?
Well, yeah, so after the conversation, we decided to meet at the venue to go ahead and look over some business. And it continued to evolve from there. We did decide to end up having dinner later that night. So, yes, we continued to see each other sporadically until the event, and things were progressing pretty well at the time.
All right, so the event happens.
Yeah.
And then what?
Well, actually, when I got to the event, he
Yes, ma'am.
was already there.
Okay.
The event was
And is that per the contract that he arrived early, or was that just something he did on his own?
He did that on his own.
Okay, see, stop. That's important. Because what that shows me is someone who's conscientious.
Coming up on America's Court.
Were you
Two.
ignoring her, Mr. Joyner?
I don't know if I was necessarily ignoring
That's
her.
a yes. All right, so why were you ignoring her?
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Amber Nunn, who is suing her ex-boyfriend for $450.
So that he was that conscientious, that not only tells me that he's a good business person, but that also tells me that perhaps that would translate over into a relationship.
Yeah, you would think, but
Not so much.
Not really.
Not so much.
Well,
what was wrong in the relationship department?
Well, the relationship, it started off, it was beautiful.
Magical.
Yes, it was.
They
it was
all
really,
do. They
really...
all start off magical, and there's unicorns and daffodils and rainbows and.
Don't they? But
and then
it was wonderful, and then he just kind of started ignoring me.
I
he wouldn't
hate that.
answer the phone when I called.
Oh my God!
Just no responses whatsoever.
Were you ignoring her, Mr. Joyner?
I don't know if I was necessarily ignoring
That's
her.
a yes. All right. So why were you ignoring her?
It was just too much. I mean, just
what was too much?
Just from the get-go. I mean, we
what
don't know.
Was too much?
Her. I mean, she was just all on me all the time, way too
literally
clingy.
Or just
literally, yes, and yes, mostly, physically, everything.
Are
mentally,
you serious?
She was very in my face all the time about everything.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. You're watching America's Court with Judge Ross. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
So the relationship took a turn because he felt like too much too soon. Your only issue with him was he stopped paying attention to you and started ignoring you. Because he did the job. Stop. I said he did the job when you went with your face.
Yeah,
did he do the job? Because we started off, he was early, he came and met you, everything was copacetic.
He didn't do the job.
Okay. The job was to take pictures at an event. Did he do that?
He did take pictures,
Was
yes.
there a specification as to how many photos he was supposed to take?
No, there was not.
How many pictures were you expecting?
Hundreds.
How many? 100, 200, 300, 400?
Just the word hundreds was used when I asked him.
Did you put hundreds in the contract?
Hundreds was not in the contract.
Did you say a minimum of 100?
No, I did not.
So you didn't specify, because I'm looking and this print is small, so you're killing my eyes here.
No,
all right,
but he told me that he had taken hundreds. I mean, he took pictures.
Did you take hundreds of pictures?
I
did.
Hours.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did she pay you the $450?
Yes.
If you took hundreds of pictures, why not just give her all of them on the CD?
I'm not going to put my name on something she's going to use on her website. Somebody's going to see that, and they're going to ask her who took that picture.
So then why wouldn't you specify that in your contract? That I reserve the right to not have certain pictures released because it's my name, it's my reputation. I will only give you a certain amount of pictures based on the event.
I'm not going to put, I just don't want to put my name on something. And we actually went over
Why
these.
not put that?
I should have put that in the contract.
And boom goes the dynamite. It's not in the contract. You've got the pictures. Why not just give them to her?
It's artistic preference, Your Honor.
Okay. You want to keep those pictures? Knock yourself out. But you will pay this lady the $450 and next time put it in your contract. That is the order. Case closed.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay her $450.
I paid Ryan for all of my pictures, not some of my pictures, so he's going to have to give me my money back.
I did my job, she liked her pictures, and now I got to give her money back? I feel like I just work for free.
Follow America's Court on Facebook and Twitter. This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.